This has happened again.
Yeah.
It's happened again. And we want to get right to the latest overnight. The death toll, in a word, it's staggering. 17 people were killed, making this one of the deadliest mass shootings in American history. At least 14 others were wounded.
Problems, some fights. He was a smaller kid, and some indication that there might have been some bullying going on.
Just a short time ago, the suspect was booked into jail, and he is now facing 17 counts of premeditated murder.
We know that they're claiming that there are mental health issues, and I am not a psychologist, but we need to pay attention to the fact that this isn't just a mental health issue.
And kids deserve to feel safe, and they deserve to not be sitting targets in their schools.
Raising their hands high, holding each other in their heart.
All right. With 18 gunfire incidents taking place this year, student safety is being threatened. There's a large discussion about what actions should be taken to keep students safe, and we brought you here today to get some students' opinions. On this side, we have representatives from the Instagram page known as Thompson Walkouts, and on this side, we have representatives from the opposing page known as, what was your guys'?
Students for Gun Rights.
Yeah, sorry. To start, do you guys have any opening statements? Start with you guys. No, I guess no. Do you have any opening statements?
The right to bear arms is a natural human right. It is our duty as Americans to defend this right. When our classmates become the first generation in human history to protest for the rights to be taken away, we will go down in history for defending our rights. On March 23rd, wear your best patriotic clothes. Bring flags, bring signs, let them know you will never surrender your rights. You can either stay in class or you can go march against them. Both will send a clear message. Long live the Republic.
All right, so to start with Thompson Walkouts, we understand your group isn't exactly for or against gun control, but what is the message your group wants to get across with this walkout?
Basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to raise awareness within the community and trying to call on our representatives and pressure them into having more responsible gun ownership and trying to take measures legislatively to keep students safe in school. We want specifically three things. We would like more responsible gun ownership, we would like better mental health support, and better facilities to facilitate that. And then more resources for schools to be able to protect their students. And yeah, we are seeking to raise awareness about this problem and the fact that many of our students feel that Congress and the government as a whole has not acted in a way that could be beneficial to solving the problem, and we wish to change that by allowing a platform for our students' opinions to be heard.
Great. And for you guys, we clearly understand that you're for guns. What do you plan to accomplish with keeping schools safe with more gun freedom?
Well, our plan is not only to protect the Second Amendment and educate about gun rights with our movement, it's also to expose the misconception that this issue can be solved with more gun control, and instead to expose that it's more of a law enforcement issue and failure on multiple levels, especially as we saw in Florida. And if we would enforce the existing laws that we have, we would be able to more effectively solve this issue.
If any, what kind of changes would you like to see within the school climate of the country? I can start with you guys.
Well, first of all, we would like to end the gun-free zones, because the fact that, or the notion that gun-free zones would ever stop any of these tragedies is ridiculous. The gun-free zone signs are basically a calling card for mentally deranged people to attack, because they know that they're not going to encounter any resistance. All of these shootings have taken place in gun-free zones. What we would like to see is signs outside that say, we reserve the right to use deadly force to protect our students. Even that sign would be enough of a deterrent to turn some of these people away. Whether we have resource officers or armed teachers inside, it would work, I assure you.
And I'd like to add something to that. There are 170 school districts in Texas that allow their students and other faculty members to carry guns to protect the students. And there has not been a single shooting in any of those districts or a single incident where a teacher has assaulted a student with that weapon.
All right, and would you guys like to answer that question?
Yes, what we would like to see, we have three main tenets. Again, we want more responsible gun ownership, we want better mental health support in our schools and for our young people, and we would like more resources for schools for them to be able to be more proactive in coping and counteracting this problem. we have the support. If you come out on this Friday, on March 23rd, we will be at Dwayne Webster Park at 1 p.m. There will be a very large group of people from the Thompson School District. It's a student-led and student-organized event, and they will all be speaking their mind. We have invited the League of Women Voters to come and pre-register people to vote, as well as a nonprofit called U-Turn to give out information about mental health support and counseling options. And yeah, we would love it if you could all come and have your voice be heard.
All right, and the final question was, such a polarizing issue, how do both sides of the student body stay united? Whoever wants to go first.
Well, we have no issue with their movement's idea that an open dialogue is the best way to progress towards solving this issue. Absolutely. The problem is that, especially last week, many of these events, even though in the beginning, initially, people were told they would be non-political, they quickly, an agenda quickly presented itself in many of these instances.
We, again, stand as a platform for students to speak their mind. And if that becomes political, because the majority of the students are representative of any act whatsoever, well, that is the student's choice, and as a majority of the students, we will respect every opinion there, but that will be what we stand for especially. Again, we invite everyone there. We have people organizing it from both sides of the aisle, and I think that the most important thing about it is to be honest and to be candid with the community as a whole and with people who oppose us, to say that we are not anti-gun. We simply want, again, these three tenets, and would love it if Congress and our duly elected officials would take action on it. We have, of course, received pushback. We've tried to contact their page, for example, before this. We were not sadly able to. They did not reply to any of our texts until it was a group chat with our moderator. And because we simply saw one day that an anti-Thompson Walkout page had been put up and was following all the people that were following us. So I think that definitely the dialogue and an open conversation is the best way to go about this, so that people don't mistake our meaning for something that it's not, and people, again, are allowed to speak their mind and have political efficacy.
Well, for the purpose of maximum transparency, the administrator of the pro-gun account initially declined to respond to your DMs. However, all other inquiries were respectfully responded to.
True, and that's my point. The fact that we were not able to sadly have an open dialogue because we reached out, but we were not reciprocated.
All right, and to end things, kind of lighten up the mood, what do you have to say something nicely about this side, and can you say anything nice about this side, something that you respect, or just something nice, just to lighten up the mood?
Yeah, I admire your passion towards this issue, and I admire the medium that you use to get your message out. I think your page was well designed, and we actually took inspiration from yours to design ours.
I appreciate that. I also admire your passion. You have a knack for public speaking, as you can see in the comments. You have an impressive voice, I think, as a page, for better or worse, and you're very good at getting a point across.
All right, well, thank you both for coming, and I'll see you guys off the walkout. All right, thanks, guys.